Welcome back for another video. In this video we look at the top players for predicted points in Game Week 18 and over the next 5 game weeks to help with transfer planning and captaincy as always. Predicted points are courtesy of FPL Review. If you want to up your FPL game this season, I strongly recommend the Fantasy Football Scout members area. I've been a member for almost 6 years. The tools I use every game week are the fixture ticker, the data tables and the player comparison. That said, there's tons of tools, so give it a try using the link below and see which you find useful. It also supports the channel. Thanks to Scout for supporting the channel, and click the link below to try it now. Let's start with the goalkeepers, and Edison's top with 4.6 projected points, Man City home to Everton and favourites to keep a clean sheet in Game Week 18. Notably, Kepa is second on the projections over the next 5 with 22.9 points. He started in goal for Chelsea in the Bournemouth game and he faces Nottingham Forest next and then a double Game Week 19. An easier fixture for Chelsea to restart with, but perhaps they've come back from the break a much improved side, with Potter afforded time to work with the squad. It's speculated that Brighton have a strong chance of a double Game Week 21 against Crystal Palace. This would make Sanchez a very strong pick for 0.1 mil more than Kepa. Leno's another keeper with a double game week, locked in Game Week 19, projected 19.9 points over the next 5, but he's in a void with Kepa the same price. It's unlikely that many of you will be looking at goalkeeper transfers this week, straight after the unlimited transfers we had, so we'll move on to other positions where there's lots to talk about. Next up, the defenders, and Alexander-Arnold's top with 5.2 projected points. He played an incredible ball to cut Villa apart for the first goal last game week, though Liverpool also looked vulnerable at times and ended up conceding one. With James going off injured in Game Week 17, millions will be looking for the best replacements. Starting with the obvious, which is Trippier. He only costs 0.1 mil more and he's the top scoring defender. If you ended up without him in Game Week 17, then there's no need to get clever, it's an easy swap. If you don't own an Arsenal defender, then Gabriel's the standout, top among all the Arsenal defenders for expected goals this season. Failing that, White for 4.7 mil is great value. They both narrowly miss out on the Game Week 18 projections, but deserve a mention. If you can find the money, Robertson's been killing it recently with 4 assists in his last 4 game weeks, and against Villa he set the record for the most assists by a defender in the Premier League ever. Beyond Trippier, there's incredible value in the Newcastle defence. A downgrade to Shah, Burn or Botman viable as a double up. Botman the standout for me. This is a handy graphic from Mikhail Tokvan, which is essentially the double game week projections. The number 1.0 indicates one fixture, 2.02 for Brighton indicates that they're incredibly likely to have a double Game Week 21, a very small chance of a triple game week even. So Dunk also deserves a mention if you can afford to replace James with a bench player this week. This week Brighton face Arsenal, so it's not one you want to start him in. On to the midfielders, and Salah's comfortably top, projected 8 points for the home game against Leicester. It was a poor restart for Leicester in Game Week 17, losing 3-0 home to Newcastle. Perhaps a slide back to their form earlier in the season, and if that is the case, he's an alternative captain choice to Haaland, who will undoubtedly be the more popular pick again. Spurs play home to Villa, and Son's projected 5.8 points, but Tottenham were pretty unconvincing in their first home game against Brentford. Perhaps a bit of hangover from the World Cup, so Son isn't a void. De Bruyne's projected 6.1 points, Man City playing home to Everton. Considering the incredible home fixtures for both City and Liverpool, it's a big gamble to swap De Bruyne or Salah out, and you certainly keep hold for now. Brighton will be without Caicedo for their match against Arsenal, who is suspended for 1 game. He will be a big miss, but good news for those who own Arsenal attackers like Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard or Nketiah. Zaha's among the projections as well. Palace capitulated last game against Fulham, getting 2 red cards. Zaha's still a hold though, but avoid buying as the fixtures turn after the game against Bournemouth in Game Week 18. Justice for Almiron, who narrowly missed out on projections lately, but he's finally there, projected 4.5 points for the home game against Leeds. He was outstanding again last match, took his chance brilliantly to make it 9 goals and 2 assists this season. It was a comfortable win for Chelsea for their first game back, beating Bournemouth 2-0, and the among midfielders Sterling assisting and Mount scoring. One to keep an eye on as they face Forest this week before a double Game Week 19. Mount my favourite between the two. Onto the forwards, and Haaland tops the projections as usual with 7.9 points. What's interesting is that Salah and Haaland are even on the projections, so Salah is the upside pick while Haaland the safer pick. Let me know what your captaincy plan is below. Darwin was by far the biggest XG underperformer of Game Week 17, failing to score from 1.16 XG. Second worst was Gordon on 0.59 XG. A frustrating player to watch at times, he's great at getting into good areas, generates big chances, but his finishing has been shocking. He's worth holding despite that, with Liverpool playing home this game week and he's projected 6.2 points, which is tied with Kane. Mitrovic trolled a lot of managers in Gameweek 17 due to Marcus Silva's comments that he was an injury doubt. If he went for him anyway, well played. 15 points from a goal, 2 assists and 3 bonus. A lot of managers will be in the market for a Wilson replacement who missed Gameweek 17 entirely through illness. We saw just before the break he had illness then as well, and he did finally make the starting 11, but then he was off by half time. So Wilson will be on the chopping block for many managers. Mitrovic is the standout with a double Gameweek 19 looming. Alternative picks are Martial and Nketiah, who we talked a lot about before Gameweek 17 and both were on the score sheet last game week. Mitrovic the best of the three due to the double game week, and he is home to Southampton this week. He is on 4 yellow cards though, so he needs to make it through the next few fixtures without getting booked or he misses a game. That wraps up this Game Week's Players to Buy video. As always, please drop it a like and subscribe if you're not part of the channel. See you soon for the next one.